Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I call this one right here. This is just a word from our sponsor, and the sponsor is me, right? I'm the one that's sponsoring the information, who's putting the information out here, you know, and you know you need to know who the sponsor is. You know what makes up who the sponsor is, what made the sponsor, you know, and like I said, the sponsor is me. I'm not gonna put no names and nothing like that. I don't like to, put my name on the internet out there. If you look hard enough, you might find me, you know. But I was a young kid from the inner city, you know what I'm saying, who grew into a young man, who grew into a man. And when I die, I'm gonna go where I need to be. That's the foundation of it. And you know how, like, I'm gonna tell you about my family. You know how, like, you have these families, like, they are a long line of, say for instance, quarterbacks. Your granddad played for Notre Dame, your dad played quarterback for Notre Dame, now the son playing Notre Dame, playing for Notre Dame. A long line of quarterbacks. Like the Manning family, or the dad and the mom were Bloods or Crips, and now, you know what I'm saying, the son is a Crip, and now he got his son, he turned his son into a blood drop, you know what I'm saying, he's a Blood, a long line, a long line of Crips, or a long line of criminals, or one or the other, a long line of athletes. I come from a long line of family members who were seeking the truth. You know what I'm saying? About what this whole thing is all about. And it started with my grandfather, my grandmother. He was a Mason and she was an Eastern Star. So right there, he was already into mysticism. He was already into secrecy and secret societies and stuff like that, and knowing something about what this world is about and what it's based off of. So he was practicing that. And then they had 13 kids, right? And had 7 sisters and 6 brothers. 13, that's a number within itself. That's symbolism within itself. So you can start to see already how this thing is being, when they came to the planet, how this thing started off being formed. So that's 13. And specifically, and they were all in different religions. They all had felt a way about the truth, especially the sisters. One of my aunts was in, throughout my family, like Hebrew Israelite, Muslim, Christianity. These are all the sisters, right? There was 5% Nation, there was Masonry. All of this was going on when I was a little boy. All this was going on when I was a kid, right? This is what I'm born into, what I'm being born into. This family that's seeking the truth. And the sisters, man, when I was young, I used to watch them. They used to be in the room going back and forth and arguing, huffing and puffing. My mom running, walking out mad, you know what I'm saying? Because the other sisters don't understand this, and then one sister don't understand that. You see what I'm saying? One sister saying that Christianity was a fake religion, the white man's religion, and breaking the information down. People were going by different names, changing their names, going by different last names and first names and stuff like that. That's what I was born into. You know what I'm saying? My cousin keeping me. She was in Islam, in the Nation of Islam. I'm having to pray to the east, pray to the west, pray to the east, I think it was. I'm on the mat. Don't really know what I'm doing, looking over my cousin, looking over at her like, okay, like with the little smile, because I was a little dude, man. But I was doing these things, and I was born you know, into this thing. I remember being on the bus, seeing my cousins and them, they with the long beards, walking, you know what I'm saying, humping, walking, got the long garb on today with the sandals on, with the long beards. I was like, dang, you know, it's my cousins and them right there. That's what I was born into, man. And you know, that's what made the character. So, you know, make a long story longer, you know, I was on that path. Then had one of my aunts, so I want to leave this out. Then had one of my aunts, she was in the dark arts. She had the Ouija board. She stayed like in the project. I stayed in the project. She stayed in apartments, Cedar Street apartments. That was behind the projects, behind the store. And she had the Ouija board. So she used to keep me, and that's the side that she's in the mediums and stuff. That was the side that she came from, that she was studying. And I used to be in there, she used to be using it, and I used to just be watching her. And she'd have a pen and a pad and use it for about 3 or 4 minutes, then put it down and go write something. I don't know what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? And so she had the crystal, she used to swing the crystal over the board. She was doing a lot of different things, man. You know what I'm saying? My aunt. And so I remember one time I was over there, she was like, put your hand on it and ask it something. So, you know, me a little dude, do Kim like me? That's what I said in my mind, you know what I mean? I can't remember. It might have said no. I don't know. It might have said yes. I think it said yes. I don't know if I was pushing it, but that's what my hand called for. So that makes up, you know, where I came from. You know, knowing about flying saucers, hearing about all of that, hearing about UFOs and stuff. My family talking about all that stuff, man. So that's what I came up in. You know, back at A&T, where everybody was wearing the African medallions, you know, back to Africa and all that. And that was the second resurgence of Elijah Muhammad, when everybody was into Elijah Muhammad and the Farrakhan. I'm walking around with the keys of Enoch. So I was way ahead. I was way ahead of the game. I've always been ahead of the game. You see? I was down my aunt's house in the trailer. One of my aunt houses, she lived in the trailer, and I ain't had nothing to do, man. I just walked in the back. I just always go through everything, go through my cousin's book, go try to find anything. It was like searching for a secret treasure. So I went to the back. I saw this big, long book, long as your arm. I was like, what's that? It was just sitting there. I opened it up. It was the Keys of Enoch. It was some of the craziest knowledge that was out there, well beyond anything that I had ever seen before. So I took that back to A&T. I was like, look what I got. And so we took it and we started breaking it down. So we walking around, and this is what we was doing in college. We walking around like that because you had certain sects within the college that used to, you know, we used to get together, used to talk about certain things, used to be in the knowledge, talking about the white man this, the white man that. But, you know, this is what I brought to the circle, you know, the Keys of Enoch. So the knowledge will find you, the information going to find. Many are called, but few are chosen. You got to be chosen by this, man. See, everybody walking around trying to choose. Nah, that's wrong. You gotta be chosen. You gotta be chosen to be in the NFL and the NBA. You could choose to be that, be like, man, one day I'm gonna play in the NBA. Nah, but you got to be chosen. You see? You got women that's out here trying to choose their man. No, that's not how it used to work. The woman is supposed to be chosen. She's supposed to have herself, present herself in a way that she's being chosen by her man. Because see, when you choose and you're not supposed to be the one that's choosing, you're supposed to be the one that's being chosen, you don't know what you're doing. So you start choosing the wrong type of man, you start choosing the wrong type of situation because you're doing the choosing. No, you're supposed to perfect your craft, perfect your game, be the best that you can be, and stand and be chosen. into this. And that's how the knowledge works. You know, I was chosen. The information found me. I was born into the information. You see, I was born into the information, so I was cut out for it. You know? And so, you know, everybody, like I said, everybody was, you know, changing their names or whatever, you know, going by different attributes. So when I was a little kid, I was like, I'm gonna change my name when I grow up. And I did. You know what I'm saying? I did, you know, because this was like X marks the spot for me, for my lineage, and for who I am as a man. And the name came to me, and I stood on the square. You know what I'm saying? I stood on the square, and I stood 10 toes down on that name, and I went with it. You know? So this was just to let you know the type of dude you talking, like a type of dude that's talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done studied all of these. See, people talking about, oh, the Bible not real and all that. It's first of all, you know, you got guys on the internet, oh, the Bible is the white man, now it's not real. What you got to realize, first of all, is that the Bible and Christianity was not for you. You remember? You wasn't able to read. They wouldn't allow you to read. They wouldn't allow you to participate and read no Bible, man. You get whipped for that. That wasn't for you. That was for them. The Bible was a book that was not written for you. That was not for you. It was about you. See, they wrote the book about your life and your transgressions, how you turned your back on the gods. You know what I'm saying? It was written. And so he wrote the book for his people to show them how not to act or how to act. You see what I'm saying? That Bible was the Quran. That wasn't written for you. So you not believing in it and all of that doesn't matter, because it, first of all, wasn't written about you. Second of all, it was written in code. So these are parables, man. It was encrypted. The information was encrypted, and so that only those who understand, who got the key, if you understand encryption, those who got the key are those who can understand the scrambled words. You see what I'm saying? Those who can understand the scrambled words. And most people can't. Those are your neophytes. You got your neophytes, you got your disciples, and you got your initiates. Your neophytes are just your congregation. They don't know much. They don't know, they only got a few degrees of understanding. I'm not gonna go that deep into it, but that's what everything is built out off of. Initiation, being a disciple, being initiated into the knowledge, being initiated into something where you got to get hazed. You got to go through your trials and tribulations. Then you can get this knowledge. It's just like, I'm saying everything is like that. Even like going for a job interview, right? Okay, so you come in, you a neophyte. You don't have no knowledge of the company. You don't have no knowledge of how the company operates. You don't have no knowledge of trade secrets, nothing that deals with the company. They come in because you've been called in because maybe you might be chosen, right? You called, but you haven't been chosen. Then they sit back and they ask you a series of questions, hazing questions about you, about your life, about your knowledge, to try to find out if you are fit with the people in the back. Because it's not only about what you know, it's about how you look too. And they'll haze you for about an hour. He can't work with us. He ain't this. He ain't that. Or she ain't this. She ain't that. Or yeah, this is one of us. So you get chosen, you get hazed, and then if you make it, then you get brought in, and then you get the secret knowledge of the company. Everything, fraternities, sororities, everything is built off of this simple math. You understand? And at the top of all this is the gods, right? And I'm gonna break that. That's a different piece of fruit that I'm gonna break off to y'all. That is the whole symbolism with the whole Jesus Christ thing. Being on the cross, being chosen, being on the cross, going through trials, tribulation. There's a death and rebirth. All of this is all a part of that. And this actually happens too from those of us who are born on this earth, who are marked at birth, you know, we go through our trial tribulation and then we go back to where we came from. But we got to go back through the rite of passage. And man understands this. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't get a Caucasian enough. Y'all don't give the Caucasian enough credit. He knows all this. You don't. He knows about this. This is what you used to do. This is the information that you used to know. He knows all this information and he practices it. It propagates throughout humankind, especially throughout the lifestyle of the Caucasian. And not all Caucasians, though. It's the elite who know. Not even all Caucasians know about it. It's the elite who know about this sacred way of life. But black people y'all don't know nothing about this. You're too busy getting high, popping mollies, you know what I'm saying? Getting your drink on, you know what I'm saying? All on YouTube, all up in the gossip. That's what you want. That's first dimensional information. That's first dimensional information. You from the first dimension. You're not even from the third dimension. That's one dimension. You're only thinking of self. You see? That's what you have sunk to, you know? So these are the things. So I build with myself, man. I build with myself. When I told you about my circumference and my aura and me being able to pull information from off the planet, you ain't gonna find this information in a book. People say, where you get that information? You ain't gonna find it in a book. It comes from my aura and it just comes from me, man. You gotta be marked at birth. There's nothing you can do. You can't attain it. You can't buy it. You can't buy it out. You can't buy your way in. You have to be chosen. You gotta be chosen for this right here. And it just so happened that, and it's not that it's just so happened, it was who I was at birth. I was already marked at birth. I already belonged to this right here. And I'm here, and I'm walking amongst you, and I'm gonna do my time on this planet, and then I'm gonna go back to where I came from. That's what we talking about. I'm going back to where I came from, man. So, you know, and the rest of, and some of you gonna go where you came from, which is you're gonna inherit the earth, literally. You're going in the ground. You know? So that's it, man. That's it. I just wanted to come with a word from your sponsor so you can say, oh, this dude tripping or whatever. I would just want you to know the foundation and the background of the speaker and the messenger, so you will know, who you dealing with. You're not dealing with the average cat. Like my boy said, you know what I mean? I'm like I said, I wasn't an ordinary child. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't an ordinary child. So that's it, man. All right? Later.